Demon Slayer is undoubtedly one of the greatest animes of all time.
Let's go down!
From its characters to the plot to the action scenes. But you know what Demon Slayer doesn't have?
Let's go down!
No! An animated Kokushibo.
Okay.
So today I'm going to create Kokushibo, but wait for the twist, in live action.
Nice.
Before I go on and start talking crazy, I need to let you guys in on the backstory of Kokushibo because every villain has one. During the Sengoku era, twins Michigatsu and Yorichi Shikiguni were born. Yorichi and Michigatsu grew up very differently. Yorichi being treated kinda badly due to an odd birthmark he was born with, whilst Michigatsu was being given the king treatment. At age 7, Michigatsu practiced swords training, whilst Yorichi was kind of a naturally born swordsman. This made Michigatsu jealous of Yorichi. Right about 12 or 13 years later, Michigatsu got married and gave birth to 2 children, but his family was killed in a demon attack, but he was saved by Yorichi in the nick of time, which even made his jealousy more epic. He then left to train with Yorichi as a demon slayer. Even after awakening his demon slayer mark, which Yorichi was already born with, he was so jealous that he couldn't surpass his brother Yorichi. That made him easily convinced by Michael Jackson to turn into a demon. He later abandoned his name Michigatsu Shikiguni and took the name Kokushibo. Since Demon Slayer has an animated Kokushibo yet, I need to do something very exceptional. I'm just going to use these 2 fan arts I found online. Now with my concept art done, I now need to go and film my shots. The cosplay is pretty simple. Just some sort of a cloth and another one to just tie your waist. You know what? Fuck, if J-Lex and Tom Holland can have stunt doubles, why can't I? So I'm just going to let Shawal film this. I just showed him the concept art, prepped him up, directed him, and gave him a battery and a selfie stick, and he held them as the improvised knife because I know I'm going to replace them in post-production, and we made the shots. Then I just made him open his eye like he was looking through a microscope, and then I took some shots of his eyes because you are going to be using them in post-production. For the sword, it was pretty easy. It was just using the image as a reference and then just modeling along the whole plane. The texturing was also pretty easy, didn't really find any difficulties there. For the environment, I have 3 ways I can do it. 1. Create everything in 3D, including the animation, and render everything in 3D again. 2. Download assets online and then create a matte painting with it, which is kind of simple, but not really efficient. 3. Create the assets in 3D and then export each and every single asset as a PNG, go into After Effects and use them as your own assets to create the whole matte paint. Kinda makes sense. Since the environment was very simple, all I needed was 3 pillars, a ceiling and a bottom plate. All I now had to do was export them as high quality 4K PNG files and then I'll use them when the time is up. Now the thing is, I have to make this look like this.
What did you say, man?
Which means I would have to enhance the character, edit the eyes and add all of them, reduce the size of the mouth and the nose because it doesn't look like an actual human being.
With the eye pictures I took, I'm just going to send them into Photoshop with another image I downloaded online of Kokushibo's eyes. Then I'm just going to pick them and overlay them onto the eye to make them look realistic. Now to put the eyes on the face, we have 2 methods. First, I would have to key the recorded footage and export everything as a PNG sequence. Then I would have to pick 1 PNG, send it into Photoshop, remove the eyes, reduce the size of the nose and the mouth and push them down, export that one as a key and then run it through Epson, send the whole result into After Effects and track it with Mocha Pro using the mesh tracking. Then I'll just put the eyes on there and then voila, it works. Next is to pick that simple PNG again and then put the eyes on there, run it through Epson and let Epson do the whole job without you having to go to After Effects and using Mocha Pro again. Well, the thing is, I used both methods and they worked just fine. So,
Let's go down!
now for the hair, you remember this idiot who gave me a model when I was transforming myself into Hashirama? The model finally came in handy again. I picked the model, sent it into Cinema 4D and groomed the hair to fit Kokushibo's hair. Now if you look at many concept arts, Kokushibo's hair is very different. I decided to stick with the one where he has a ponytail but with some hair in front which is shorter. Kind of. I don't know whether my explanation made the point. My sword animation. So instead of tracking my hand and sending it into Cinema 4D and doing the whole sword animation and rendering it as a PNG sequence, I just decided to make the sword fit an angle on a picture and then I rendered just the PNG of the sword went into After Effects and did some motion tracking and just placed it there, and it's kind of worked. So now I just have to bring everything back into a new composition in After Effects and then tie them up with fog, since the whole place was a dense fog area. Went on to Production Creator, found some dust assets, some smoke assets, some lens flares and everything. Added some glue onto the eyes, onto the sword, did a whole bunch of adjustments, and then tying everything up with a color grade. 17 days after I started this project, I present to you the final video.
300年経った世界の友人よ、お前の名を聞かせてくれ。